Well, welcome to Christian Answers. This is Pastor Jeff Short, your Bible teacher and cultural analyzer. And today we're back with the abortion debate between David Gordon and Kristen Day. And it's over whether women should be prosecuted for going in to have an abortion. And it seems like prima facie on the surface that, yes, they should indeed be prosecuted because they are participating in the murder of that child. They're not doing it directly. They're not the abortion doctor who is actually taking the forceps and the vacuum suction and taking that baby and dismembering that baby in the womb. So that's the abortionist that does that, the direct agent of death. But they are a secondary agent of death because they're actually getting themselves into that office and contracting with that doctor to kill that baby in the womb. That's what an abortion is. The baby in the womb is killed and removed. And the woman is involved in that process, and she is part of that crime that was committed. Just like at a crime scene, it often is not just one person pulling the trigger. If you're the getaway driver and someone in your crew goes in and robs a bank and kills someone and they get out of the bank and go into the car and you drive away with them, you're an accessory to that crime. Why? Not because you actually stole any money and not because you actually shot anyone and killed someone, but because you are part of the crew, you were part of the process that led to someone's death and led to money being stolen, and you were participating. You were a willing participate in that, and you are going to be punished to some extent depending on your involvement. And it's the same way with women. They should be punished by the law to the extent of their involvement. And I simply cannot understand this Kristen Day woman's argument where she says that women are not responsible for the death of that child and that they are victims because, yeah, they're victims in some sense, but they're also responsible for the death of that child in some sense. So let's go further into this discussion. Again, I'm going to only play the clips where Kristen Day of the Democrats for Life group gives her rationale for why women should not be persecuted, and then I'm going to just comment on that. I'm not going to take the time to go over the David Gordon comments, but let's roll that clip and get started.
Right. I think abortion is a very different issue when we're talking about abortion. When women go to seek abortion, they're not doing so willingly. I know you throw out these statistics with the Guttmacher Institute, but when we found with the
What does it mean? I think I would ask her this question. What does it mean to participate willingly with some event? What does it mean to not participate willingly with some event? Certainly, the woman does not have a gun held to her head, forcing her to go into the abortion clinic, right? Right. So it's not that type of coercion. There may be all kinds of pressures that she has to carry out this act of abortion, this crime, but it is not a direct, actual threat to her life that if she doesn't go in and get that abortion, someone will kill her. Now, if there were circumstances that could be proven in a court of law that a woman actually did have a gun held to her head and that she was actually by force brought into the abortion clinic, held on the table, and forced to have the abortion, then yeah, that would be a mitigating circumstance that would relieve her of much, if not all, of the culpability of the death of that child. But that is not what women go through. They don't have a gun to their head. They have social pressures, peer pressures, financial pressures, and it is not fair to say that they are victims in the sense that they had no alternative. They certainly do have an alternative. That's why the pro-life groups in front of abortion clinics oftentimes can talk women out of having an abortion. Why? Because she has agency. She has free will. She has a choice. She does not have to go in and have that baby killed. She can actually put it up for adoption. She can keep the child and then receive support from different agencies or churches or even the United States government to raise the child. And there are choices that she has. Now, the argument may be, well, she maybe feels like she doesn't have any alternatives. Well, again, feeling about something and reality about something are two different things. So it could be that she's confused, she's fearful, she's feeling under pressure, but let's be honest, she did bring that child into the abortion clinic. She was not forced in the sense of direct coercion to go in there. She did it, and she made a choice. She made the choice to have the abortion, and that really nullifies what Kristen Day is saying right here.
Pregnancy support centers all over the country and people going to abortion clinic and offering help to women who are abortion minded. When they find out that there's support out there for them to have their child, they'll choose life every time. So I think that's our challenge as a pro-life movement, is to continue to build up these efforts that we have done. The abortion rate has been coming down because of the effort of the pro-life community and really reaching out to abortion-minded women.
The abortion rate has come down if you're talking about surgical abortion rate. But let's not confuse the overall abortion rate with surgical abortion rate. Surgical abortions have come down. There's no question about it. Why? Well, a big reason is that now they're using the abortion pill, so they don't have to actually go into the abortion clinic. So women can actually just stay home and order these pills, or she can go to a doctor's and get a prescription and then get these pills and in the privacy of her own home, have an abortion and kill her own baby in the womb. Now, that certainly will bring the total of surgical abortions down, but that is not a optimistic statistic. Just because you trade one type of abortion for another type of abortion is not a victory. I think there's a lot of naivete on the side of people. For example, Democrats for abortion, for pro-life, like Kristen Day. She's supposedly a pro-life liberal. She's a pro-life Democrat. And she's celebrating the fact that surgical abortions are down. And she's not even taking into consideration that pill abortions or medical abortions are up. So you're still killing the baby in the womb. So it's not like there's a victory here. This type of argument that she's trying to give is really, it's more of a policy argument. It's more of a political argument. It's more of a what's best for the movement argument. And we don't want to pick a fight with the population of the United States or the majority of the population of the United States by prosecuting women. Well, that's not a justice question. That's a political question. And she keeps going back and forth between the political and the justice, and she seems to want to just totally forget the justice. The justice question is, why shouldn't a woman who was involved in the murder of a baby be prosecuted to some extent for participation in that murder? And there really is no argument against the logic of that.
And showing them that, they don't have to do that, and they can, they're strong, they can stay in school, they can have their babies, they can do all these things. We are fighting against this abortion movement that wants to increase the numbers, and they're telling women, they're tearing women down, and they're telling women that they can't do any of these things. I think that's our mission right now. And when we talk about...
Well, yes, definitely that is the mission, to try to persuade women from going into the abortion clinic and killing their baby. Definitely, that is a priority, to try to talk the women out of this, to talk some moral sanity into these women, and to try to reason with them and say, look, this is wrong. What you're doing is killing your own child. This is a human life. Definitely. And also telling them you don't have to feel like abortion is the only option. You don't have to feel that if you don't go this route, the abortion route, then your life is over, because we can offer support. We can offer financial support. We can offer supplies, baby supplies. We can offer sometimes housing and a really nice environment for the woman to bear the child. And so you don't have to think there's only one option. Yes, those definitely should be used, and those have been used all throughout the pro-life movement, but that's totally separate. That's a totally separate question about the culpability of the woman who does, in fact, decide to have an abortion. The question is, what should be done with a woman in that case who, say, the law of the state that she resides in, say it's a Tennessee, or say it's Alabama, or one of the states that has a law against all abortions. What if the woman defies those laws and seeks out a doctor in that state to have an abortion, and then goes to that doctor and actually has the abortion in that state where abortion is illegal? Are you saying to me that that woman breaking the law, and breaking the law on an issue like murder and killing an innocent victim, are you saying she should not be prosecuted? This would send a travesty of justice all over the place. This cannot happen. It is happening right now. And this woman, Kristen Day, is one who's actually arguing that it should continue to happen because we don't prosecute women or send women to jail. Well, I can understand that from a policy, political perspective for the cause, but it's not justice.
Throwing women in jail, and this is from just a public policy. This is not my personal opinion. I agree with you 100% that we should not, abortion takes a human life. But from a practical standpoint, if we're going to advance our cause and end abortion and stop the murder, we can't throw women in jail.
Okay, so let's talk about that practical political policy reality that Kristen Day is talking about. She's saying if we really want to be successful in the political arena, if we really want to see a day where all abortion is illegal in all 50 states, or a national abortion law, which would be better, a constitutional amendment that says abortion is murder, all people, whatever age they are human beings and deserve dignity and deserve to have their life preserved. Let's say we're working toward an abortion-free United States, and so we pass all of these laws at some future point where abortion is made illegal in all 50 states. Okay, that would be a great and monumental achievement. And let's say that we do, then, because abortion would be illegal in all of these 50 states, all over the United States, let's say we then do have a law that would prosecute the abortionists, the abortion doctors, the ones who actually directly kill children in the womb. Okay, that would eliminate a vast majority of abortions, because if there's no place to go and there's no abortion clinic on the street corner, or if there's no abortion hospital that you can go for an abortion, and if there's no abortion doctor that you can see that can kill your baby in the womb, then the vast, vast, vast majority of abortions will go away. But let's say you still have a rogue doctor here or there, or you have some illegal abortion clinic set up, which would probably take place, because there are a lot of people, the feminist radical left are very fervent on this issue. This is almost like their holy sacrament. They feel that unless they have complete, total control over the baby in the womb and over their body, to the point where they can actually kill the baby in the womb, to have personal autonomy, freedom, they feel that their rights are taken away. So there are radical feminist fanatics who will organize, if abortion is totally illegal, will organize clandestine abortion clinics and will hire secret abortionists who will take customers, women who want to still have an abortion, even if it's illegal. And so what Kristen Day is saying, okay, we'll deal with that problem. We'll cut it off at the source, as far as if we eliminate all of the abortion doctors, throw them in jail if they're performing abortion. We'll shut down all abortion clinics, all abortion hospitals, make it illegal at this larger level. Then women cannot go anywhere to have an abortion. The problem with that is that you're still going to have these abortion pills. And if it's not a doctor that is prescribing these abortion pills, you're going to have organizations set up either maybe out of the country. Maybe you'll have abortion doctors set up in some country where it is allowed, abortion is allowed. And you can call a toll-free number, or you can get on the internet and order these pills and get instructions how to take them, and you can still perform your own abortions on yourself in your home in privacy. And so you're still going to have women who are killing their child. Only with an abortion pill, it's a little more direct, because when a woman actually takes a pill, knowing that that pill is going to kill her baby, when a woman actually takes a pill, knowing that that pill is going to take the life of her child, that is a direct involvement with the crime, the sin of abortion. That is a criminal act. Now, let's say that abortion is over in all 50 states, just like Kristen Day is wanting to work for. Let's say all the abortion clinics are shut down. Let's say all the abortion hospitals, it's all illegal. They cannot perform at the abortion hospital, or it'll be shut down. So the only thing left are these rogue abortion clinics, rogue doctors, and these mail order abortion pills. You're still going to have women finding a way to kill their baby. And you are still going to have women who are going to go against the law of their state, and against, if it's a national law, the national law against abortion, and they're still defying the state. They're still defying justice. Are you telling me that you're going to say, well, that's just between them and their baby? No, you can't have that kind of disregard for human life and injustice happening in society, because it undermines the whole law structure, legal structure, the whole order, social order. So you can't, it would be like allowing people to, kill their children in the privacy of their home. A mother gets frustrated with her 3-year-old and strangles her to death. As long as it's not done in public and out in the open, no harm, no foul. No, that's outrageous. That's crazy. So the only consistent way to deal with this is to have it illegal to have an abortion. And if you defy the law, it'll be criminal offense against you, and you may go to jail, or you may pay a fine, or there may be some punishment depending on, again, the circumstances. And that's the only consistent way this can be dealt with.
Because that will just provide more, fuel to the fire on the abortion side, that's saying we're incarcerating women for for abortion. And in some states, it is still legal. So they're not breaking the law there.
Well, isn't
Incarcerate people, pouring fuel on the fire. So in other words, making the radical left angry. So we can't administer justice in our society because the radical left might get upset. Or we can't do justice. You know, the Bible says about love, mercy, do justice. We can't do that because people in our society will get mad. You know, is that the mentality we had during the Civil War? Is that the mentality that the North had when they said, no, we're going to stop the practice of slavery? And others in the North would say, well, wait, no, we can't stop slavery. That'll make the South mad. No, if it's a matter of truth and justice, you go ahead and do it anyway. So really the debate in the pro-life movement right now is between people who are leaning toward the pragmatic political policy, what they perceive as reality, and people who are simply saying, hey, can we be consistent here? Is abortion murder? Is the woman guilty of murder in some sense by taking herself and her baby to the abortion doctor to have him kill the baby? Is she culpable in that instance? It's just a simple matter of justice. Yes, of course she's guilty. She's guilty of assistance or accessory to murder. It's not the same as direct murder, but it's accessory to murder. And that's a pretty bad crime too. So there will be penalties. Under some kind of an abortion law, there would be some women would be in jail for a certain amount of time. Other women would be heavily fined. Other women, there would be all kinds of different circumstances depending on, again, like Kristen Day was saying, whether the woman was coerced directly or indirectly in some way. So the courts could actually sort those things out like they do in other crimes, and this could be dealt with. But to actually just say that women can get out scot-free for killing their baby simply because we don't want to complicate our movement in trying to accomplish too much all at once. Now, there is the argument that could be made, and I could see this, where you say, well, yes, exactly what David Gordon is saying and a lot of the pro-life abolitionists are saying is true. But we have to pick our battles, and we have to sometimes put that conversation off to another day in the world of public policy. So in other words, let's first get the laws against abortion all set up and established in our nation. Let's have every state make it illegal for any kind of abortion to take place. Let's make a national law, if we can, to make abortions illegal anywhere in the United States territories. Let's get that as our policy goal. And then after that, then we talk about some of these other things like what should be the penalty for a woman who defies the law. After all, it is defying the law. Do we want to encourage people to break the law and then feel like they can get scot-free out of it? I mean, that, again, social chaos results when you do that. So, but I could understand. I actually have made this argument before in the past. I've done videos on this in respect to, for example, Apologia Church and Jeff Durbin. They are staunch pro-life abolitionists, and they have argued before state capitals and the legislature of state capitals in different states about why we should have prosecute women for committing the crime of abortion. And this was before Roe v. Wade was even overturned. So, and I made the argument, well, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely 100% right that women should be prosecuted for the crime of abortion if they walk into an abortion clinic or if they take an abortion pill, definitely. But you can be right and have the right argument and be absolutely correct in everything you're saying, but wrong in the timing. So I can understand that if Kristen Day wants to say, well, let's do one thing first. Let's get the cart before the horse, or let's get the horse before the cart, or whatever she's trying to say. Let's make some headway in illegalizing abortion. And then once we start achieving and get some momentum, let's then fill in the blanks and fill in the gaps and start achieving some of our other goals, which would ultimately be that there's no abortion tolerated anywhere in the United States, and that anyone who assists, aids, abets, assists, an accessory to the crime of abortion would suffer some penalties or consequences legally. And that would be for people who drive the woman to the abortion clinic. They would be guilty in some sense. That would be the women who are actually going in to have the baby killed, people paying for the abortion, anyone guilty of aiding and abetting this crime would suffer penalties. That conversation could be had, but maybe it needs to be had at a different time, and to give the pro-life movement some room to maneuver as far as achieving the more priority goals. Because after all, the priority, is it not, to stop babies being killed? The priority is not to make sure that everyone who has aided and abetted in the killing of a baby is brought to justice. That is not the priority. The justice question is not first and foremost stopping babies being killed in the womb, making abortion illegal, criminalize and putting abortion doctors behind bars, shutting down abortion clinics and abortion hospitals. That's priority one, right? I think even everyone in the pro-life movement would consent to that. So, yeah, I could see Kristen Day making an argument that way. She doesn't make that, but I think that could be made where, hey, let's get rid of the vast majority of abortions. And then once we accomplish that, then let's go back and tidy up all the laws and prosecute people who are guilty of breaking them. So I think that's probably the best way to think about that. But that has been the abolitionist debate. I hope this has helped people. And we will see you back next week on another edition of Christian Answers. God bless.